Hello and welcome to live episode of the Rocky Sports Talk Sheet. We're gonna start it off with talking about the men's and women's NCAA Final Four games. We did have some good games, some not so good. The one that I actually thought was going to be a blowout was the one that came down to a nail biter and a game-winning shot in overtime. Gonzaga and UCLA. That's the one I'm talking about. UCLA wins with a game winning 93-90 in overtime. Very good game. Surprisingly, I actually thought this was going to be 11 seed UCLA's matchup that they were not going to win, um, and that they weren't really going to compete that well with. And they really shocked me. But Gonzaga got away from a scare there and continue their undefeated season here. In the other game, not so well. 2 seed Houston was just throttled and overran and just outpowered and outmanned all across the board. Um, yeah, that one was not that good. Baylor won 78-59 in that one, but don't let it was 19, but really it felt like 30. It felt like it could have been a 30-point win, honestly. It did not feel like that at all. It did not feel like that good of a game. Um, also, I think that the championship game on the men's side is going to be very competitive. I think it's going to come down to the wire, and I think the winner is going to win by somewhere around 5. I do have Gonzaga pulling it out over 1 seed Oregon there or Baylor. 1 seed Baylor. My bad. Uh, but it's going to be tough. Um, I think this might actually, other than the UCLA game, this is going to be their toughest challenge. But I think up to this point, UCLA has been their best challenge. But in comes Baylor, and I'll take that one 75-70 Gonzaga. On the women's side, I don't think the championship game is going to be that competitive. I mean, yes, Arizona. We do know that they got they they survived UConn and pulled off the upset in their Final Four matchup. Did 3 seed Arizona. Um, but Stanford, I just think top seeded Stanford on the women's side is just too much for Arizona. I got that one by 15. I would say if I had to like guess a score, I would say 83-68, the final in that one for the women's NCAA championship game. Stanford did beat 1 seed South Carolina 66-65. Um, like I said, that either of those teams, like South Carolina, did have a chance to win in the last minute. Don't get me wrong. I think either one of those just would have beat Arizona handily. To be honest, I just think, yeah, I just think Arizona's luck's going to run out. But I will tell you what, Arizona Wildcats women basketball. Welcome to your first championship game. You won your first Final Four game. You had a hell of a season. And I would definitely extend your contract of your coach, the coaches that you currently have, and I would continue to build because you all do have a great, stable team there, and I would continue to build on that. I think you all can be an upcoming women's basketball team for years to come. Just continue what you're on. You had a hell of a season, and I think Arizona is an up and coming women's college basketball team. With that being said, Stanford's just on another level than Arizona. Um, also, I want to get on something different here. I want to thank you. I just want to give a minute here to give thanks to the subscribers that I do have, and also want to give thanks to the people that have viewed and watched my videos. Even some of the friends that I, play my games with. Yes, I'm a gamer. I like my 2K. I like my shooting games and stuff. And I do play games. And I just want to thank my fellow gamer buddies for watching my clips and stuff. And if any of them are subscribing to the channel, I just want to give a shout out again to them. Thank you all very much. It's greatly appreciated. Like I said, I'm a little bit over 3 weeks in now, and it's it's definitely greatly appreciated for me. I just definitely want to get that off my chest there. NBA, we're going to talk some NBA here. Um, it looks like Gordon Hayward got hurt again, and he's going to be out a month. Is the reports his foot? He's got a foot injury. So Gordon Hayward is reported, as reports are saying right now, looks to be out 4 weeks. So, like I said, about a month. I believe Charlotte's like 2 or 3 games above 500 right now. So that's kind of a blow to the Hornets there in the Eastern Conference. I mean, I'm not expecting them to come out of the East or anything, but that might hurt their playoff seeding and playoff chances towards the end of the regular season and whenever this bubble thing comes around. So just get better there, Hayward. We definitely don't want people getting hurt and stuff like that here. Also, man, I'll tell you what. Before this season started, if anybody would have thought that the Knicks would have been a competitive team in the NBA, I would have said you're nuts. Because the last several years, even whenever they had Carmelo, remember whenever they had Carmelo Anthony, they were still losing. Like it's different this year. There's a different feeling around the New York Knicks. Now, the only thing that the New York Knicks seriously, their only problem is their damn owner. And let's just put it out there. Let's put the cat out of the bag. I know other people will complain about it, but it is true. This guy's a moron. I don't know how he still owns an NBA franchise. I definitely don't know how he owns the Knicks. At this point, this dude is such a moron, in my opinion, and does the stupidest things to take attention from how good their team's actually playing this year. Yes, they're not a top tier team, but from where they were the last several years to where they are right now at 500, they're 25-25. Sometime in the last 2 or 3 years, they would have been like 8-30. Okay, let's just get real, folks. But last night, in the first quarter alone, Randall for the Knicks outscored the entire Piston teams in the first quarter. So, man, they won 125-81. The first quarter, they outscored the Pistons 41-15. Sheesh. Man, the Knicks are up and coming. Again, NBA's right whenever the Knicks are a top team. The NBA is in better shape whenever the Knicks are a top team. So truly, we really want the Knicks to get back up there again. That's whenever their viewerships were good. People were tuning in more because look where the market is. It's in New York. So really, I do wish the Knicks were back because I do remember being a kid, the '90s and stuff, and right there, right in the very beginning of the 2000s, they were a good basketball team. They need to get back to that point. The Heat, been a rough season for them. I don't know what's happened to the Heat. But they did win last night, 115-101 over the Cavs. They are 2 games above 500 at 26-24 now. But this is not the Heat team that we expected. I'm very disappointed with the Heat this year. After being in the finals and stuff, I really thought that they would come in and probably be competing for at least a top 3 seed in the East this year, and it's just not happening. It's not happening. The Mavericks pull away from the Wizards, 109-87 with a win. Again, the Mavericks is a team that I thought would be a little bit better. They're not bad, 27-21, but I really thought they would have improved. But again, Porzingis he's not been really healthy all year long. So you got that to look at. But I really thought that those teams would be better and improve, and hopefully they do. I do love me some Luka Doncic. I ain't gonna lie. That boy is gonna be the future of the league. Whenever LeBron and everybody, it is gonna be Luka and Giannis. Like, man, that boy Luka is a beast. The Sixers continue their winning ways. They're doing really good. With the coaching staff change, the Sixers seem to turn it around. I think that's kind of what they've been missing the last few years. You've been hearing like Embiid and the feud with him and Simmons, and that they didn't really mesh, and half the team was for Embiid, half the team was for Simmons. There was this alpha dog, camaraderie thing. Man, let's just play the basketball. Play as a team, win as a team. End of the day, that's what it comes down to. Don't worry so much about the alpha dog. You both are alphas. This is the problem now with some of these athletes. They can't do, go a few seasons till your free agency. Work together, be alpha A, be alpha B. Kind of like Kobe and Shaq, what they did. They won some championships, and then whenever the contracts were up, hey, one left, one stayed. That's fine. But until your contract's up, man, just get along and play and try to win. But they are doing good. They're 34-15 right now, record-wise, and they won 122-113 over the Timberwolves. So the Sixers look like a contender in the East. It's definitely, I would have to say, just my opinion, I think the Nets and the Sixers are the 2 teams in the East. I'm not feeling the Bucks. I know a lot of people still love the Bucks. I'm just not feeling the Bucks. I ain't gonna lie. Last night the Pacers did defeat the Spurs, 139-133. More scores. The Jazz continue their winning ways. That is a team that really came out of nowhere strong this year. People need to be talking a whole lot more about this Utah Jazz team. 38-11. They beat the Magic 137-91 last night. I know it's the Magic. I'm not really talking. I'm just talking to them overall. They should throttle the Magic. I mean, they traded all their starters away pretty much by the trade deadline. So they're going to be a garbage team. I mean, that's basically what the Magic are right now. But the Jazz, man, that'd be a team I'd be worried about if I was the Lakers. My Lakers playing in the whenever playoff time comes around. Those Jazz, that is not an easy team to play. And I'm not gonna lie, right now I think that they could knock out the Lakers. As sad as I'm sad to say it, but I mean the Clippers, the Lakers, y'all better watch out. Those Jazz. The Bucks did pull out a 1-point win over the Kings. They survived 129-28. Yep. We also have the Blazers whooping up on the Thunder 133-85. We had some blowouts last night in the NBA. I want to give a shout out on this show. I'm going to try to do a segment of like a shout out an episode. And today's shout out, I know they lost last night, but I am highly impressed, and I do keep up with him. Yes, because he did play for my Cowboys, and I love my Dallas Cowboys. But man, I like what he's done after football. I like how he would go on NFL Network, do his segments. He go on all these ESPN, Fox, FS1, whatever. I liked whenever he talked because he always spoke like his mind, and he spoke what he believed in. And I just love me some prime time, people. I do. I love me some prime time. Got a softie for prime time. But man, he's never coached any collegiate or pro level football teams. And even though they lost last night, they lost by 20, 34 to 14. Uh, to start your college career out 3-2 as a first time head coach in college, my shout out goes to Deion Sanders. Keep doing what you're doing down there. Keep building what you're building down there at Jackson State University. I'm still tuning in. I check in on y'all's games. I watch the clips and stuff like that. I think that you're going down a good path here, and I think you're going to end up being a really good coach. Here in about, I think give you a few years, get your feet wet in that college atmosphere. But I think in 5 years you're going to be a really good coach. You're going to be a learning coach for the first few years because you still got to learn, you know, all the recruiting. There's so many different aspects to coaching in the college compared to he was helping a little bit with his son. They're the quarterback at like high school and stuff. It's just different. But I really love what Deion Sanders primetime is doing down there at Jackson State. I just that's my shout out of the day. Continue to keep trucking along, continue to get better. But to start 3-5 in your first 5 games in college, to even win 3 games, really, it'd be tough to for your first year coaching in college football, and to win 3 games so far, be 3-2. I'm impressed. Um, some people may not be, but I am impressed. I hope that y'all get a good recruiting class, and I hope that in your all's division or a division of college football, I hope that here soon we can see you all in the top in the championship game because I'm gonna be rooting for my boy Prime Time always, always and forever. Keep it up, boy. Um, in other news, I'm not looking so far into all these reports, so I'm not like. Whenever I say this, please don't take it the wrong way, people. Don't assume. I'm just saying there are on all different kind of outlets, the internet, YouTube, different things. Because that's how I study. I look all over the web and stuff to kind of like get the news of the day and stuff like that. And I'll watch some of the stuff. I don't know if it's true, so I'm just gonna say sources and reports are out there. But there is one victim that has gone to the police, and the police are investigating Deshaun Watson, quarterback of the Houston Texans. Um, it does sound like that, from what I've heard so far, the statement from this alleged victim, and keyword alleged, people, um, it sounds like this could actually be a forced sexual act that this person went to the police with. Um, this is just not getting good. And now this person just didn't go to the attorneys like the other people. They actually put the police. The police are now involved. Um, this is getting ready to get real, sports fans. Like really real. The police were not involved, so at that point, it could have just stayed a civil suit. Yeah, he could have lost money, and he could have dealt with them, and it could have just all gone away. Now that the police are involved and investigating this, now if any of this stuff is true, he is going to be looking at jail time. especially with police involved, because they're going to be the ones to file and basically try to take him to court for a criminal case. So if some of the reports that I've seen is true, this is very damaging for him. And if it's proven, they could easily come at him with rape. I I try to stay on the fence because, like I said, me, you, the viewers, none of us were in these so-called sessions, massage sessions, so we weren't there, so we don't know. We do not know. We can only speculate. We can only have our opinions. But man, this is getting out of control with 21. I don't know if it's gonna. I really, truly, at this point, I really hope there's no more. Let's just be done, and let's get this in court already, and let's try to figure out what the heck is going on with this. Because I do have to say, Deshaun Watson's a hell of a QB. He's easily a top 5 QB in the NFL already, and in his short career so far in the NFL, easily. And talent wise, the dude's a stud. But I will say this right now: if he is guilty of this stuff, dude's got to go to prison. But you just can't do that to people, rich or not rich. I don't care who you are. You can't force people into sexual acts, and then try to say you're going to do this or else I'll ruin you. You can't do that to nobody. It's just not right. But I will say this, man: if these women are lying, you all deserve the same thing, hands down. So I'm just saying they need to come up with rules. Like if people stuff like this, if you do put out stuff like this and it's false, they need to make some laws where these people can get some serious jail time themselves for false accusations. I'm just saying it's only fair. It's only fair, people. I'm just saying. But I don't know if this is a confirmed report. That's why I'm just saying allegedly that one of the alleged victim that did go to the police, and that the police have been investigating within the last 48 hours. That it was basically a forced sexual activity. That's per source. That's per reports out there. Don't know if it's true, but if that's the case, at least yes, Deshaun and his attorney will at least know that the name of that one victim, alleged victim, and they'll be able to try to prove them wrong. Really, truly, I hope this is not true. I really, truly do, because it would be such a black eye for the NFL, such a black eye for the league. Just mainly because the first 2 weeks, whenever all these victims were even reaching over 15 alleged victims and stuff, you had 5 teams trying to still trade for him. I mean, if this stuff comes out true, people are going to remember that, and they are going to ridicule the NFL, and they're going to ridicule those teams' owners, and you're definitely going to have female activists like all over your team's ass. It's just going to be a bad look. I'm just speaking truth here. Again, since we are on the NFL, let's go in. We got the draft here, and we're close to 4 weeks for draft. We're getting in at the end of the month. We got the NFL draft here. I want to hit on some players here. Yes. I do think that, and like I said in one of my last videos, I'm kind of wondering, and I'm kind of thinking that on draft day, Jimmy Garoppolo, the San Francisco 49ers current starting quarterback, will be traded. I think this is how it's going to happen. He will get traded on draft day if, and this is just my opinion, and it has to go down this way. Since they got the 3rd pick, I believe strongly they're taking Trey Lance out of North Dakota State University. I think that Trey Lance does fit Kyle Shanahan's system. And even though, John Lynch, the GM of the San Francisco 49ers, he wants a different he wants his own quarterback, and the head coach, Kyle Shanahan, wants his own quarterback. And yes, there are people saying, why does the head coach have the final say in the matter over the GM? Well, it's easy, people. In the NFL, who's training the quarterback? Is it a GM or is it the coach? It's the coach. They got to find a quarterback that best fits their system. So it's highly understandable why Kyle Shanahan is going to get his guy at the third pick and not pick John Lynch's guy. Highly understandable. I don't think it's going to cause friction. Not at all. Only reason why it would cause friction between him and his GM, John Lynch, is if you pick your guy and he turns out to be a scrub, which I don't think. Now, there are reports that, and I think these reports are straight garbage. I'm just going to say it. I think it's been on ESPN, FS1. I think you all are straight high thinking that Mac Jones, they traded up to 3 and gave away all them two first-round draft picks and stuff like that and thirds and all this other stuff and swap picks to trade up to 3 to take Mac Jones. I think you're a fool. I think you all are foolish, and I think you're kidding yourselves. Not happening. I think Mac Jones could be kind of like, he could be a good a solid quarterback, but he's going to be like an Alex Smith style quarterback. Trey Lance, if in the right system, because he hasn't thrown picks really in college. I think he only had 1 interception in his college career for his one season and 1 game. Yes, he has 13 games, 14 games, something like that. He doesn't have that many games, but still only 1 pick. Boy's doing something right. He has good completion ratio. If he's in the right system with a right coach, a right offensive coach, Trey Lance could turn into a stud in the NFL. So I truly believe Trey Lance is going 3rd to the Niners. If Kyle Shanahan gets his guy, and I think his guy is Trey Lance with the 3rd pick, and the only way I think that he wouldn't get him is if the Jets pick Trey Lance at 2, which all accounts right now, it's a lot. It seems like a lock that Zach Wilson is going number 2 to them, which they're going to get to steal in this draft, in my opinion, because I believe Zach Wilson is the best quarterback in this entire draft. I think Zach Wilson is better than any quarterback in last year's draft. I think Zach Wilson is going to be a top 5 quarterback in the next 15 years. That's just my opinion. I think he's better than Trevor Lawrence, honestly. I love how he keeps his eye down the field. He doesn't panic. Trevor Lawrence, I've seen too many times against good teams, he panics. And Zach Wilson really doesn't do that. I think he just, yes, I think Zach Wilson, then I think it's going to be Trevor Lawrence, then Zach Wilson, then Trey Lance. Now, like I said, if the Niners get Trey Lance, then I think in the draft, sometime during draft weekend, he's gone. I think Jimmy G will be gone. Because then I think a team will, the only way they wouldn't be gone is if they don't get a first-round offer for him. But if the team offers him first round, on draft day he's gone. On draft day he's gone. But I could see. But also, remember this, folks. He's got to approve the trade because he has no trade clause for this season. Next year into his contract, he does not have an option. He has they can trade him away without his permission. But this year they have to ask, he's got to approve it. So it's also got to be a team that he's willing to be traded for. So that's also another reason why this could not happen. Now, next offseason, and like Kyle Shanahan, they had a press conference, and this is probably one of the most honest press conferences I've seen in a while in the NFL. He was like, if we get our guy, um, we like our best option right now is Jimmy G because he's been in the NFL, he knows the system, and their plan. It sounds like is to draft their guy, learn a year under Garoppolo, and then go from there, and then probably trade Garoppolo, and then raise his stock, and then get more out of the trade, which seems like a really good plan. So if I was them, you're taking a chance because you are in a tough division. I ain't gonna lie. There are some up and coming teams. The Cardinals came up this past season. They got better. You still got the Rams, and they got Matt Stafford now. You can't say they don't have a quarterback now because Matt Stafford can't throw that ball. So I mean, you got the Rams and that defense. Aaron Donald. I mean, you got to deal with Jalen Ramsey in the secondary. The Rams ain't scrubs. You got Seattle. Hello, Russell Wilson needs to say more. Even though that defense is garbage, like my Cowboys defense last year, straight garbage. So they are in a tough division. But if he goes 8-8 or makes the playoffs and Jimmy G plays the whole season, somebody's going to offer a first round pick next offseason for him. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. So I think you're taking a chance on that because I think that I don't see the Niners coming out of that division. I don't. I think there's just too much firepower. And honestly, I think the sleeper team to really watch out for is the Rams because they do have an accurate throwing quarterback. And Sam, let's not go there. I think people underestimate Matthew Stafford. He was on the line. If he was not on the Lions, his numbers would be a lot better, and he would have gone farther in the playoffs. I'm telling you that right now. He has an arm, he has a cannon, and he's a great quarterback. He was just on a garbage football team, just like Barry Sanders back in the day. Hell, he retired early because he was tired of playing for the garbage Lions. And that's what they are. Sorry, I just speaking the truth here. You all don't build around your superstars. You didn't build around freaking Barry Sanders whenever you had him, for Christ's sake. And you didn't build really around your quarterback. You had a good quarterback. So, I also think now, Mac Jones, I do have going to the Patriots. I do believe the Patriots will either somewhere around the 12th spot, 11, 12 spot, if Mac Jones is still there. And if the Patriots think that a team could pick him before them, then I think that's where they'll move up and they'll go get Mac Jones from Bama. But I think that they can wait and sit and he'll be there for them at 15. So I think that Mac Jones will go to the Patriots at 15. Right now, I want to get on something because I'm still hearing this, and this sounds so crazy. I'm so loving it as a Cowboys fan because there's reports that Penei Sewell, the offense tackle out of Oregon, seriously, he's the third-rated player in this entire draft, could seriously fall 10 to my Cowboys. What? If this happens on draft day, if I'm here watching the draft, the end of the month, and the 9 team, the team ahead of us doesn't pick him, I would be dumbfounded. At number 5, if the Bengals do not get, if they don't get him and protect Joe Burrows because he got hurt last year and make that O-line better, and because all reports right now are saying that Joe Burrows and the Bengals are highly looking at Jamar Chase, the receiver out of LSU, because AJ Green left and departed, and they wanted another weapon for Joe Burrows, and they played together, and Jamar Chase had by far his best season in college as Joe Burrow as his quarterback. If they seriously pass on Penei Sewell, then there are teams like the first 3 are all quarterbacks. He's not getting picked. Then number 4, by all accounts, across the board, it's going to be the tight end out of Florida with Atlanta. The only teams that I see are going to pick him is at 5, the Bengals. 6, it really sounds like they're taking the top receiver. Either people are thinking they're high on Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase. And then 7, it sounds like they're high on Patrick Surtain II, the corner out of Alabama. And then you got Justin Fields, Carolina. People are really strongly believing they're high on, they want Justin Fields, but they're going for a quarterback. The Panthers are going for a quarterback with that 8 spot. Then it comes down to the 9th. And I believe that's the Lions. If they pick who some people think they're going to take, and that's Caleb Farley, the other corner out of Virginia Tech, and what people think is the best corner in this draft, then right there at 10, I know everybody is screaming for one of these top 4 corners because there's 4 solid stud corners, I think. The first 4 corners in this draft are going to be good NFL corners. You have to take by far the best available with that 10th pick. I swear to you, Cowboy Nation, if Penei Sewell is there, to me, he reminds me of Orlando Pace. Jesus Christ. Would you take an Orlando Pace? I would. You have to take that, man, because that's our other weakness on our team. Yes, the secondary is atrocious, but that O-line, man, they're old and they got hurt, and look how awful they looked last year. They couldn't protect nobody, and they couldn't make any running holes. You have to take that, man. You have to take that, man. So I'm getting more and more excited for the draft, like every day, because if these reports keep saying the same thing, I'm going to be so pumped that on draft day if this does go the way that it's being projected across the board. Freaking crazy, man. Crazy. This dude looks to be 1 sack in 2 years, man, in college. What? You do not let a player like that slide to 10. No way. Oh, this is going to be the draft steal. The draft steal of the year. Maybe even last year. Maybe the draft steal of the last 2 years. If this happens, man. I'm going to tell you also, since we're on the draft, who I think is not going to live up to the hype in the first round. I know everybody's saying that, oh, man, this is one of the best receiving classes ever. Okay. Yeah, okay. Look, I know you can look so good in a COVID-ridden year in football. Defense has already been bad, and they've already lightened up the defense where the defense ain't get a fair shake whenever they go against the offense. And then whenever you're missing all these team activities and stuff because you got to follow these COVID protocols just to play every week, and all this stuff, and they're not learning as much as they normally would, is what I'm saying. All the college teams across the board last year. So the defenses were weak last year. They just were. Yeah. I'm not high on Jalen Waddle, the other receiver out of Alabama. Everybody has him going in the top 20 in the first round. Look, if I'm picking a first round bust, I think it's going to be Waddle. To me, people are thinking, it's going to be a first round. He's going to be a top 20 pick, and he's going to become a number 1 guy in the NFL. I will never agree with him being a number 1 receiver on an NFL team. I don't care. I don't think he's a number 1 receiver. I think at best he could be your 2 and 3, but not a number 1. He is not your star receiver. I don't see it. I don't see it, and I don't see it. You all can believe I'm wrong. I know he's fast. I know he looked crazy good at Alabama. But then again, who doesn't look crazy good at Alabama? Because they have basically all the best players in the country. I mean, it's like a 5-star football team walking out there every year. They're going to look good. They can't pay attention to everybody on the field because everybody's screaming 5-star recruit. So a lot of these players I'm going against 2 and 3-star recruits, players that aren't on their level, and they're making them look like super studs when they're probably not as superstar um, as they would be in the NFL. I just don't think he's going to be that good in the NFL. I really don't. He's definitely not going to be a number one receiver. I could be wrong. Hit me up on the comments. Let me know what you think on that. But I do believe I'm picking my first round bust, and I think it's Jalen Waddle, receiver out of Alabama. I don't get why he's going in the top 20. I don't. Now, yes, whenever I did a video on my mock draft, I had him going, let me see on my list, 16th here. And that's because, well, that's about where they got these. And the team at 16 is highly, all reports, they're high on him. It's not who I would pick because he wouldn't even be in my first round. He's in my second because I think he could be a really good number 2. And but you can't be a really good number 2 and me pick you with my first round pick. Nah, my first round pick has to be like one of my best starters. That's what the first round's about. So that's why I'm just saying that he's my first round bust. Also, let me know who you all think in the comments down below are the best corners and the best receivers in this draft class. They're saying there's studs at both of those positions this year, and I just want your all's take on who's better. Who would you all draft with on your team in the first round? If you had an option of the best corner and the best receiver, which one would you take? Some people think Caleb Farley from Virginia Tech. Although he did just have a minor back surgery done, it said it could take about 4 months for it to heal. But he went on ahead and got the procedure done before all the mini camps and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's good that he got it done early. But before he got hurt, he was a stud. I ain't going to lie. He was a stud. I think that he could be the best out of this class. But the story for me is still out. The jury's still out because he did have that back surgery, and we know what surgery like that can do to an athlete. So I'm going to hold off on him. Since I'm going to hold off on him, I'm gonna pick J.C. Horn out of South Carolina. I think J.C. Horn to me right now is the corner in this draft. A lot of people are very extremely high on Patrick Surtain II out of Bama, but I am high on J.C. Horn. Like I said, let me know. And the number one receiver that I'm high on, I'm going to have to go. Actually, look, this is a trick question for me. I'm going to say Kyle Pitts, and that's because he's a receiver playing tight end. His weight and everything and his speed says wide receiver to me. A little bit of an overweight receiver. I'm going Kyle Pitts, but if I had to pick a receiver, I go Jamar Chase out of LSU. I think 2 years ago, he had a better year than Devontae out of Bama last year. And he did that with no COVID restrictions and all that crap. So what he did a couple years ago was amazing. And I do like the way that he ran his routes. I think Jamar Chase is better than Devontae Smith. But I do think that they're 1 and 2. I think they are the top 2, respectively, at the position. I do think they got that part right. Now on the running backs. This year, the running backs are not that good in the draft. They're not that good. You got Najee Harris out of Bama. I mean, he could be good. He was really good at Bama. Not gonna lie, he was a stud. And then you got Travis Etienne out of Clemson, the running back out of Clemson. He was a stud at Clemson. I think that, yeah, they could be the two best running backs. I don't know. But I really only think there's like three, maybe four at most running backs that are going to have a good career in the NFL. Outside of that, I don't see it. I think the running back class is really weak this year. I'm not impressed with the running back class at all. If it ain't those top two guys, I'm not touching them. To be honest, I just don't want to waste my pick. I can go pick somebody up in free agency or sign somebody else that I think might even be better than the rest of the running backs in this draft. To be honest, I'm just not that impressed with this running back class. I'm just not. Um, I'm not impressed with the guards either. The guards, offensive guards in this class, not that strong to me. Probably one of the worst guard classes in the draft, in my opinion, in the last 20 years. I don't see that many guards, two at best. After that, I see fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh round talent outside of two of them. That's just my opinion. I don't see any stud guards out of this class. If I do, it's only going to be one of them, and that's going to be Elijah Vera Tucker out of USC. That's the only guard that I can see having a good NFL career. Outside of that, average at best. At best. So that's the only one. Now, I will not dog anybody taking Elijah Vera Tucker out of USC. I think that is a good pick, and he should go in the first round. He will go in the first round. Be crazy if he doesn't, because he is by far, hands down, the best guard in this draft, and it's not even close. Let me know in the comment section who you all think is the bust of the first round. You see all these mock drafts. We got an idea of the players that are going to go in the first round. Let me know which of those players you think they're just overhyping and it's not going to pan out in the NFL to what they think. I already picked mine. You all let me know what yours is. I will also give you, and also let's do one. I'll even throw out an extra topic on this. I'm gonna throw out a sleeper first rounder that people are sleeping on. A lot of people might be sleeping on, and that could actually end up being the best of the class. And that's another receiver, okay, that could actually sneak up and actually end up being the best receiver in this class. Okay, this is just gonna be mine. It could be any position. I'm gonna go Kadarius Toney, wide receiver out of Florida. He could, if in the right system, could end up being the best receiver in this draft. That is my sleeper. Now, hopefully you know what the sleeper pick means. I don't think he's the best, but he could end up being better in the NFL than he was in college and be better. He could end up being better than Chase and Devontae Smith. He ain't right now. He's not on their level. No, he's not right now. But that would be my sleeper pick to have a really great NFL career. Because, like I said, this is a really good receiver class and really good corner class to me. I mean, you can go all the way back to 6 in each both of those positions. Top 6 receivers or top 6 of the corners should be pretty good. Now, my 6 is different than everybody else's top 6. Now, like I said, some of them, like from 4 through 6, mine are different than the way everybody else has them projected. Just my opinion. So yes. Again, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Much love. I'm gonna probably have to end this video because it's already probably too long. It's almost an hour. And yeah, YouTube kind of gives me I don't know why they shorten my time through my laptop on videos, but it is what it is. But I want to thank you all for tuning in. And I will, I will keep y'all posted on the Deshaun Watson news. I hate talking about it. It's so uncomfortable to talk about it. But as we get more news on it, I will make more videos and keep y'all posted. Because I do know it's the biggest story in sports, has been for weeks now. And everybody's wondering, of course they want to know, did he really do it or not? Because he's a lot of people's favorite player and one of their top players, and they don't want to see it. But I get it. But we also do want justice if he did do it. Let's just put that out there, okay, people? If he did do it, those victims should get justice. Now, let's not sugarcoat it. Can't just look out for your athletes, even if they do something highly illegal and something wrong to other people. No, they should do their time. Michael Vick did his time, and he was in the wrong. Then if he's in the wrong, and Texas quarterback's in the wrong, then he has to do his time just like Vic. That's just my opinion, and I'm going to stick by it. I don't care what you say on it. But thank you all for tuning in. Please spread the word of the Rocky Sports Talk Sheet. Also, people out there, I had while I was playing games earlier, I had somebody mention it's actually a good idea. If you want me to give shout outs to like your social media sites or try to put shout outs to get people to turn to your channel on my channel, let me know. If you want to do that, I have no problem doing that. Also, all I ask is that you, if I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Try to bring them to my channel. I'm also on Facebook. I'm also on Twitter. All of them are what this show is called, Rocky Sports Talk Sheet. That's all you got to type in Twitter. That's how you can find me on Twitter. And that's also how you can find me on Facebook, Rocky Sports Talk Sheet. So please go to those, subscribe to those as well. Tune into those channels because I also post my videos on those as well. Thank you all very, very much. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for all my loyal fans and all my loyal viewers out there. And no, I'm not selling the Jordan. I'm not selling him behind me, you all. Please stop asking me about that. I do have to say that. I do kind of get annoyed with every video people wanting those. I don't have any comments because I keep deleting them because they're always about that Jordan picture behind me. Not going anywhere, people. It's not going anywhere. I understand why y'all want it. Thank you all. Y'all make me feel good. It's glad that I got something that's nice. I do like that. But it's staying on the wall of fame over here, buddy. Again, thank you all. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Thank you all. And until next time, peace out, everybody.